Super 17 is one of the main villains of Dragon Ball GT, and despite that, he's not in the original base game of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. However, with the power of mods, we actually have a playable Super 17 for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. For this, I need you to pay attention. I'm going to separate this video into a few parts. The first part is the intro in which I'm talking. The second part will be a gameplay / mod showcase showing off his abilities and combos. And the third part will be kind of like looking more into his model, me talking about what I like or dislike about the Super 17 mod, and just giving you a better visual of him and what he looks like via mods, and as well as the fact that I'll be talking about when I personally think he'll come as DLC. Now, let's first begin the showcase.
Okay, come get me if you can.
I don't blame you for feeling shocked. I am Super Saiyan 4, Son Goku. This is more like it. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Let's have a little fun. Let's have a little fun. You're getting on my nerves. Play. What's wrong? Take this. Okay, come get me if you can.
Huh, looks like that triggered a power-up for me. Over here!
Oops. What's wrong? What's wrong? Okay, come get me if you can.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Let's have a little fun.
Got you! You fool!
Take this! Let's have a little fun, huh? You're getting on my nerves.
That's enough! Got you!
Take this! Die!
That's it!
Fool! You fool! Take this! Die! Okay, come get me if you can. Looks like a fight is the only solution. Too bad. Let's go! Not too shabby. You're getting on my nerves. What's right? Oops. Forget it. Take this. What's wrong? Pay attention. What's wrong? What's wrong? Better take this. Let's go. This could get nasty. What's wrong? Okay, come get me if you can.
Allow me to show you the horror of perfection. Too slow. You won't survive this time.
Dog, quit moving around.
Too slow.
Take this.
Nice work.
Let's have a little fun, huh?
There's a lot more where this came from. You won't survive this time.
What? What's wrong? Play. I'll hunt you down.
You won't survive this time!
When I look at him as a character in this game, in terms of modding, I actually don't think it's bad. I think that the height looks fine. I mean, he seems pretty tall. When I show him half hair against Super Saiyan 4 Goku, he's taller than him, which pretty much represents how taller he is in the actual GT show, so credits to the modder. I also like the fact that when Super 17 becomes damaged, then his hair starts kind of like going back to normal, which was representative of how it was in Dragon Ball GT when Super Saiyan 4 Goku used his self-destruction against him, and then he came back with his hair kind of like looking like regular 17. But I mean, I think that there could be a few improvements to the Super 17 model. Also, I feel like they should have added the person responsible for this mod, which will be in the description and comment section. I think he could have added in some custom moves or skills or just something to make him more unique. Because when I look at the Jotaro mod, I feel like that is like the gold standard for modding. But I also understand that, you know, not everyone could do mods to that level, and probably the amount of time doing it isn't worth it, especially for a character like Super 17, who isn't exactly the most popular GT character, but still a main villain nonetheless. He also has absorption, I believe, when you use that type of perception thing. I'm sorry, I get the things confused in terms of naming. So at least they got that. I think that was cool. When I was fighting with Super 17, it did feel slow, so take that into account. He probably is over a certain character that I might not know about in terms of, like, I guess can't think of it off the top of my head. But yeah, I think a pretty decent mod. I would give it a 6 or 7 out of 10. Could use some improvements, but I would say that in terms of a Super 17 mod, this is probably the best that we're gonna get in a long while. I feel like if you add in voice lines from the other previous games, Dragon Ball Legends, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, maybe even Tenkaichi 3, or maybe Xenoverse 2 and Legends, this would be much, much better as a mod. But as a starting point and as like a beginning thing, or even as an adept thing, not bad, pretty decent. Now, Super 17 as a character for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is a missed opportunity, because we have Frieza soldiers and irrelevant characters over this guy. Like, the fact is, he's still one of the main villains of Dragon Ball GT, but I feel like within this awful fan base, what happens is so many people make excuses for him not being in there, and it's just so frustrating because we could have had him in, but instead we're kind of in a loop thing where we only know that Dragon Ball Sparking Zero has Dragon Ball DLC 1, 2, and 3. There's no proof whatsoever that there will be a 4th DLC. And now people are talking about a sequel. And I'm like, dude, this game does not need a sequel. Moron. All they have to do is just add in some updates and patches and just constantly update the game, like Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 or even Dragon Ball FighterZ or even Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. This game does not need a sequel, so it would be a shame if Super 17 is only playable within a new sequel. I don't know, my kind of like mindset towards like this current fan base of Dragon Ball fans and just Bandai Namco is down the gutter. I'm not gonna lie, because the fact is this game could be so much better. We could have had constant updates, constant costumes, new content regularly. But instead, it's like, oh, well, here you go, and whoa, it's a fighting game, so we're gonna excuse it. And it's like, no, dude. I don't know, I'm very bitter about this game because there's a lot of things that I don't like that they really could add. But instead, let's look at the last DLC, DLC 2. They gave us those characters, and then that's pretty much it. One of the driest DLCs ever. And now people are talking about a sequel, and I'm hearing that the producer said that this game will have sequels or whatever, or at least they want it. And it's like, no, dude, just patch it, just updates. just constant stupidity that I just deal with, and I'm tired of holding my tongue about this, so I don't really care if fanboys or whoever complain, but the fact of the matter is, it's a shame that we don't have this character in the game. And I don't care if I have to hear some justification about how he's not the most popular. He's still one of the definitive characters of Dragon Ball GT as a main villain. And his design isn't bad. But yeah, that's my thing. Decent mod, if we do get him in the game, I suspect that they would have to do like one of those DLC things where it's like you add in all the characters from Tenkaichi 3 in like a 4th DLC. And that could potentially happen before the end of December. If not, potentially in early next year. But yeah, I would say that in terms of a DLC, especially with how they're trying to frame DLC 3, I would say anywhere between fall, winter, up until early 2026 is where they could potentially have a 4th DLC. If they don't go that route, and if DLC 3 is the final one, then it'd probably be in a sequel, which could be anywhere from late next year or 2027. Anyway, that's my thing. Be sure to give this video a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all next time.